Pokemon. You know Pokemon. I know Pokemon. Apparently everyone and their mother knows Pokemon. It's the biggest franchise in the world, and you're probably tired of hearing that, but it's a factual fact. There isn't a franchise this big anywhere by a landslide in the multimedia aspect. They produce anime, school supplies, card games, coloring books, tassels, plushes, stickers, water bottles, condoms, and most important for this video, video games. Pokemon became a juggernaut of RPGs since their first game in the Game Boy, Pokemon Red and Green and Pokemon Red and Blue outside of Japan. There is just something so pleasing on capturing these cute to cool looking monsters and training them to become a natural problem and conquer the world with them. Or something like that. This game took the world by storm and even started a competitive scene, with the fan favorite being the BGC format, where you play 2v2 with two other Pokemon in the back. It's a favorite part of any Pokemon game. I always have a blast climbing the ladder. For a while. I'm one of the biggest contraries on allowing legendaries in competitive formats. It makes the meta sucks. It becomes boring. Since they are so strong, you have to add one to your team. So here we can finally make a segue to talk about the problems with the franchise video games. Even as an outsider to this franchise, you can see one of its glittering issues. The games have barely changed since the first one in 1996. Like, yeah, we all love Pokemon. But don't come and tell me that there are things at play down in the programming so calculated that a normal earthling brain can't fathom such a meticulous movement of ones and zeros. Nope, the gameplay that once ruled the world has been intact for 26 years. There has been little tweaks now and then, like the addition of 2v2 battles, how critical hits work, and new Pokemon types. But the core gameplay... yeah, you can see it, right? This game have stopped trying to be the best game they can, and started doing something I call the Game Freak rule. This rule basics is that instead of adding every component you'll need to make an awesome game and please the fans, win Game of the Year and become respected as one of the greatest, they just add one of those ingredients to the pot. Every generation. We can see it on display in the biggest douchebaggery in the 3DS games. It's like, okay, we heard you want 3D, here it is, and a new Pokemon type. Whoa! Okay, they are trying, game is the same, but look at the Spy Kids 3D, dude! Now, you don't need HM slaves. HMs will be used by Pokemon that pop some from the Shadow Realm and help you. Also, there are no gyms, you have trials. They are exactly like gyms. Okay, but about the game... Hold your horses, now you have an open area. Whoa, really? How does it work? Well, they are Pokemon walking. Uh-huh, and that's it, baby. PS, gyms are back. Okay, but how about you... Shut up, now we do be indeed be having what is called an open world. Really? Finally? We needed that for 4 generations! But how does it work? You can go anywhere. Yeah, and? That's kind of it, baby. The gyms do not scale, you can catch practically any Pokemon, we close some of the paths like a Metroidvania game, so open world in the sense of open world, well, you know, we need to save the real open world for the next generation, you know, so the players feel like we are listening to them. You know? Fuck you. This game has lost sight of what made the franchise so magical. The Pokemon. Weird, right? Who would think that Pokemon are what make Pokemon so amazing? This world is giant, beautiful, and full of magical creatures that makes you want to hug them, share a beer with them, or... moving on. When you play the game, it's designed to telling you that there are some Pokemon stronger than others, some that are harder to catch, legendary beasts, powerful and dangerous creatures. But the gameplay is like... Hopefully you can see where I'm going with this. Even though the world can be fleshed out, and you can understand everything that is going on and the stakes, the game is just a straight line, with no bumps on difficulty or jumps in gameplay. It's the fucking same monotonous tone throughout the whole game. Since Gen 7 I was losing hope on the franchise, and then Gen 8 sealed the deal. I was done with Pokemon. But then, like if someone was listening to me, they threw a fucking curveball at me, and they released one of the most beautiful trailers I've seen Pokemon produce, along with Pokemon Snap one. But that wasn't Game Freak, so it doesn't count. It's always going to be better. Need more proof? There you go. Now, it was 8 AM. I was like, fuck, am I even interested in this Pokemon Direct anymore? Then my fucking cell phone jumped, punched me in the face, bring me closer and said, you're gonna want to watch this. And then... Holy shit! Open world? I can sneak and catch Pokemon? I can get killed by them? Pokemon make contact in battle? A new battle mechanic? A new art style? And for fuck's sake, can I throw a Pokeball? I don't know if you realize, but in a game about catching Pokemon throwing one of these? This is the first time in 26 fucking years where we actually have a real-time in-game button to throw a fucking Pokeball. In a mainline game. That sounds fucking nuts, right? But it's true, we were missing on this for a long time. Pokemon tried something new, and it was awesome. It made us explore the world, feel terrorized by Pokemon. There were some stronger than the rest. They had clear height differences. It was fucking amazing. It's like someone at Game Freak said, "Fuck you, I'm actually gonna make a good Pokemon game. I don't know if you're bullshit." Then fucking McGiver the shit out of the assets he had and made the worst looking, but better designed Pokemon games. That game was such a fantastic move, like it will be fantastic if you subscribed. Okay, moving on. And I was back, baby! I love Pokemon again. I had a blast, I finished the shit out of that game. And at the end, I felt like the experience was worth it. And then, I went full rage mode. Because it finally happened. Pokemon tried something new. And they were probably never gonna do it again. Because the mainline title sold 10 million more copies. And it only gave me a taste of what I think to be the closest game to deliver on the promise of what the Pokemon franchise is all about. So follow me as we build what the Pokemon franchise looks like in my mind, in a well-designed game, where we will tackle 3 important things. 1. The world. 2. The Pokemon. And 3. The combat. The second one will tie a lot with the first one, since they need each other to coexist. So let's start designing this game, shall we? And let's do what the Pokemon franchise has been neglecting to do for a long time. Evolving. Pokemon design has taken the world really seriously since the beginning, adding names for each town and making the names resemble colors as the Pokemon franchise will too in the future. Adding atmosphere to each one in a major way, so you feel your progression through the game and can identify each city easily, and feel the dangers and adventure of being outside of them and wandering into a forest or a huge ocean. And even though the graphics have changed and you can have a clearer view of these places now, one of my favorites being the Let's Go series Viridian Forest and the Black and White Lawson Forest, these wonderful vistas are just used as a hallway for you to go from point A to point B. Even in Scarlet and Violet, it's just like, the circle is a forest, but that's it, baby! There are no changes in how you progress, it's not treacherous or anything, and don't get me started on the oceans or seas in Gen 9. This shit's sad. The world feels empty because of the lack of change in it, every biome is the same. Look at the difference of a game that puts thought on its biomes, the Breath of the Wild saga. Yeah, you may be screaming, "Dude, how can you compare Zelda to Pokemon?" Biggest franchise in the world! They can actually make whatever they want. But okay, see how Zelda makes its world feels alive. One biome is too cold, one is too hot, one is filled with trees and makes it hard to move, one is tropical and has a lot of thunderstorms, rendering metal weapons useless. And Gerudo is a mix between cold and hot, so you need knowledge of both of the other biomes to move through it. That is a fucking world! No place functions the same as the last one. It's amazing and you remember these places. There are dragons and enemies roaming everywhere, just some of them stay in the same place, making use of the Majora's Mask design idea of a living world outside of you. In Pokemon, we have a place with grass, the place without grass, and the place with grass again. You are not exploring, you are not finding new stuff. You are just moving through the game. There is nowhere where your spark of exploration or discovery turns on. I think this is the blandest and most basic open world there can be. So how do we make it better? Let's make it bigger. We need a forest where the trees cover you. The sun is nowhere to be seen, you can just catch a glimpse of it through the leaves. Let's add a place like the Mushroom Cave in Sword and Shield. A vast open field like Breath of the Wild. Caves, volcanoes, mountains where it starts like a grassy beautiful place with a lot of flowers, and as you go up it becomes colder, and you can see a lot of snow and nice Pokemon everywhere. We need the world to affect our character. And here is where we connect with the second point of this video. I told you that they needed each other to coexist as a Pokemon game, since the world will obviously change around these beasts, and your progression through it should too. The Pokemon are the main focus of this franchise, so let's design the game around them, and not just add them like a second thought like, yeah, sure, we can add Gligar there, like what the fuck are you gonna do about it? Legends Arceus had the right idea, just in a smaller game, but they actually added Pokemon in places and biomes where they will live, and there are places where you can't just walk and be effective. And Gen 9, well, we were almost there. But now, how about we add some value to the Pokemon? What do I mean with the word value? Pokemon are treated like trash in these games, like even though some are more powerful than others, it's the same process to catch them, and you just need RNGs to help you. And then you just grab 5 Pokemon along with your starter, And that's it! You'll never need help from the other 200 plus Pokemon you caught. And even in past generations, you only needed one HM slave to progress through the game. But how about you actually need help from your Pokemon at all times? Legends Arceus gave us a taste of what Pokemon can do to help you traverse the world. Snizzler can help you climb. Weirder is a faster way to move through the world. Ursaluna can help you find items. Basculin Legion can help you move through the water. And Bravery is just a glider. That's a really good idea, but those Pokemons are summonable anywhere at any time like the HMs from Gen 7. For a change, how about we need help from our own Pokemon to move through the world? Maybe we have mineral spots, just like in Legends, but there are minerals that are so strong that you need a ground, steel, or rock type Pokemon with Rock Smash to break them. And because of that, you get better and rare items for crafting. Of course, bring crafting back. One way to cheat in open world games and make them feel less empty is just adding collectibles everywhere, since they are going to be useful anytime, and you will want to get out of your way to get it. And maybe one of these collectibles is a specific apricorn that you need to take down from a tree, so you need a Pokemon with Vine Whip or a Pokemon with Cut. And let's use a grass Pokemon with Leech Seed to plant a new tree in a town where you can get your own house or your own garden to plant specific hard to find items. But to get those seeds, you need to get to the top of a mountain. And how do you get on the top of that mountain, you may be asking? Easy! A rock Pokemon with enough strength to help you climb. You see what we're doing here, right? Pokemon have a lot of value now since you're gonna need a lot of them with specific builds to help you traverse the world, and even collect stuff. Huge Pokemon that can carry you through the snow. Either way you may get stuck now and then. Fire Pokemon in really high areas so you won't freeze to death. Water Pokemon to help you move through the water, and big water Pokemon to dive and explore underneath the water. Flying Pokemon to move through the air. Dragon Pokemon that maybe fly faster and are strong enough to break rocks, just like the rock or ground types. And you may be asking,
yeah, cool, but what is the reason for me to get all these items with the help of my Pokemon?
Oh, I'm really glad you asked, little Jeremy, and I sure will explain myself. Go with me, fidget of my imagination, I'm gonna blow your fucking mind with my most controversial thought on Pokemon. Yes. Pokemon should not be easy to catch. At least not all of them. I hate the fact that you can throw a Pokeball and catch a squirrel and practically God. There is no thought put into that. So these items that you are collecting with your Pokemon throughout the game are crafting materials to make lures or food for a specific Pokemon to catch. So maybe you need to collect 5 items to craft a Mamoswine lure, and after doing that, you need to throw it at them. And only after that you can battle it, or you can chuck a Pokeball at him and actually get him, otherwise it will just run or be uncatchable. And that's how you get value to Pokemon. Instead of here comes the ball, some of them are going to be a fucking adventure to catch, making the school recess talks of my childhood of, Joe, did you catch Mewtwo? Oh my god, there's a Mewtwo? It's on this cave, dude! Holy moly, I want Mewtwo! And then you go to your house and find Mewtwo, and then you see Mewtwo, and then you battle Mewtwo, and it takes you like 70 fucking balls to get Mewtwo, and after you catch Mewtwo, you can go back and say, dude, I caught Mewtwo. Huh. Nice! High five! And now let's turn that whole exchange into, Joe, did you catch Garchomp? Oh my god, did you catch Garchomp? I can't make the lure. I don't know which town sells them. Dude, you gotta break the Dragonite mineral on top of the highest mountain in the game. The one that is blocked by that roaming Alpha Bombasnow? Yeah, dude, be sure to bring Fire Pokemon to survive and Rock Pokemon to climb. Oh, dude, I'm gonna build my team right now. And then, you build the shit out of your team and go prepare for an adventure, a side quest almost given to you by a fellow classmate. And then, you go climb that mountain and destroy the shit out of that Alpha Bombasnow. It took you like 3 tries, since that Alpha Bombasnow is uncatchable. But you beat it. And then, on the top of that mountain, you see a bluish rock formation. And you send Escadrille with Rillron to collect the Dragonite for you. And on the side of that Dragonite, you see a note trapped in a rock. And you pick it up. And it reads, it's been told for generations that Dragonite can create an irresistible smelly potpourri for catching Garchomps. All you need is smelly leaves, Dragonair scales, Mudkip's mud, Magikarp whiskers, and of course, the Dragonite. And then you craft the shit of that item and go get your fucking Garchomp! Damn! See? See how wonderful that would be? The world feels alive, and catching Pokemon is going to feel amazing. Getting all the materials and building a team that will help you go through whatever you decide to tackle first will be fucking awesome. And of course, we still will have a computer in our menu, so we can change Pokemon fast, and maybe an option to separate them by type so you can grab whatever you need. Or specific boxes to save different teams, so you may have a team built for battling, one for exploration in land, one for exploration in seas, and one for gardening. So, let's recap the cycle of how the game will combine all its design aspects. The world will be a treacherous place with a lot of biomes that you as a human will need Pokemon to traverse. So, you need to catch some easy to find / catch Pokemon, then make use of your grass Pokemon to collect searching stuff, rock Pokemon to break and climb stuff, water, fire and ice Pokemon to traverse to different spaces. And of course, different interactions with same materials are possible, like cutting a tree gives you wood, but burning it with a fire Pokemon can give you charcoal. How fucking amazing, you're in control of the game, you are playing the game isn't playing you! Then, use these items to craft lures to catch stronger Pokemon. How do you get the recipe, you may be asking? Side quest, talking to NPCs, and if you find one in a town's market, just buy it and you will automatically get the recipe. So, to catch a Magmi you may need charcoal, or amberry, and a smelly leaf to craft that lure. Throw it at him and then battle it, or just throw a Pokeball, Legends style. But you have to make use of the world and your Pokemon together, and here's where another important part falls in the equation, the battles. Of course, battling wild Pokemon is now optional like Legends, even though there should be Pokemon that you need to fight to catch, like Machamp, Hawlucha, Garchomp. Those Pokemon should be battled, not only caught, but this makes battles optional with half of the game, and I think trainer battles should be controlled as in Scarlet and Violet. You gotta go and talk to them to initiate the battle, so battling should give you a reward, right? I think money should be really hard to come through in the game, and battling is the only way to get it, and also give you really hard to come materials like necklaces or karate bands that you'll need to catch fighting Pokemon. So, the way to catch fighting Pokemon is to battle, that's neat. And fighting Pokemon can be used to push stuff, break rocks and minerals, and if they are huge, thinking we have the same height engine as Legend Arceus, they can carry you through the snow. And I think Pokemon should be balanced, nothing so OP, nothing so dumb. Like you're not going to use a Bibarel in competitive, because Incineroar is going to beat the shit out of you, or fucking Mega Rayquaza or Landorus. That sucks. Every Pokemon should be viable. It's really dumb that you can only use the same 20 in competitive, it fucking sucks. Let's balance the shit out of this, and also make competitive easier to get into. And you may be asking how, Jeremy? Well, battle simulation.
What is that?
Well, how about instead of having to lose a fucking week to make an EV trained 6 Pokemon team, you can get to competitive with a menu called Battle Simulation, where you can pick any of the Pokemon you have caught. Yeah, you have to have catch the Pokemon. So, gotta catch them all fucking makes sense now. And after that, you can pick that Pokemon from your PC, make a simulation of it, choose the ability, choose the IVs, choose the EVs, and use that Pokemon in a battle simulation arena. So you can make a team in fucking 5 minutes instead of in a fucking half year. And with that, you're gonna want to finish the game if you wanna play competitive, since you have to catch those strong Pokemon with great value. And to catch them, you have to find them via exploration, progression through the game, or talking to NPCs to get knowledge about the Pokemon and to know where they live. And here comes one of the most desired things in Pokemon. Make the Pokemon have a presence in the world. Alpha Pokemon were close, but instead of just having them sit in place, make them roam. And maybe they are so strong that maybe some are uncatchable, but beatable at fights. So when you don't have the materials to catch or fight them, you are scared as fuck, like, damn, I need that berry to catch Bulbasaur. But that goddamn Alpha Carnivine roam these places a day. I better wait till night so it goes to sleep and I can steal my way to that tree. Isn't that fucking neat? Doesn't the world feel alive? God damn it, I can get enough of that. And then you hear from an NPC that Cleaver likes to cut trees, and you give it no fucking importance. But then you reach a forest where you see a lot of trees in the ground, and you're like, oh shit! Flashback! You hear from an NPC that Cleaver likes to cut trees. Return from flashback! Motherfucker, there's a Cleaver here! And you can fucking search for it and catch it! But maybe the same NPC tells you that they like to fight, so you know you have to fight to catch them. Or they tell you they like rock candy with sugarcane. And motherfucker, there you have it, there's the lure. And that same town can sell you fucking sugarcane. And in that forest, there are minerals that can be destroyed via rock Pokemon that give you rock candy. The fucking world gives everything to you. You only need to be open to explore and listen so you can fit all the puzzle pieces together. If there are claw marks in the trees and Seviper fangs in the ground, yeah, there are collectibles. Maybe a Sangus is near. There are claw marks in the cave. There are stronger claws, so maybe it's a Garchomp or a Bisharp. Painted trees, Graphia. Burned apples, Charmander. Shoes of little kids in the trees, Drifloon. I know programming this is hard as fuck, but dude, biggest franchise in the world. And maybe hire some workers, since Game Freak shown us that they suck at making games. Maybe pass the fucking baton via baton pass to Bandai Namco, so they can boost the stats of the franchise and change the open world meta, terrestrializing the game into the Game of the Year Elite 4 and Hall of Fame the share of this game. I love this franchise, and I think it's not getting the respect it needs. It is without any doubt fucking underwhelming, a fucking cancer to itself. And we're eating it like it's the second bowl of cereal that leaves you like, ugh, I'm gonna barf. This franchise needs to evolve. It needs all of this to become probably the best open world game out there. Finally, Game of the Year. And become a massive competitive game with a lot of personality. Like a fighting game, where a panda can beat Evo. And maybe we can finally see a day when a Pachirisu can be world champ again. Maybe I can finally get my Gudra to world champ. And maybe I can finally tell my friends, dude, have you caught Mewtwo? I hope you like this video. I really like talking about things I love because I really love Pokemon, but hate the direction the game is going. And I think it has a lot of potential. If you like it, I would love to continue doing this with other franchises. Or have debates about why design in certain games need to change, or how the change they made is fucking fantastic. Apparently Pokemon is looking into a switch to Unreal Engine, and I think it's a good idea. Maybe we can finally have a good looking Pokemon game. And the DLC for Scarlet and Violet is just around the corner. But well, this video is long enough. So this was fun, but a lot of work, so subscribe if you want. See you later.